So good morning. We have some news, and that news is that I shall not be running in the Abingdon Marathon on the 20th of October 2024. So that's a short version of this video. Hope you've liked it, subscribe, etc. Now seriously, if you want to know why I'm not going to be running in the marathon, what I'm going to be doing instead, and what the plans are moving forward, then do stick around. If you have been following the channel over the last few months, you'll know that we've both been training for autumn marathons. Dawn's running the Chester Marathon on the 6th of October, representing England Masters, and I was training towards the Abingdon Marathon 2 weeks after. However, over the last couple of weeks, I've been mulling things over and made the decision to pull the plug on it. So why is this? Well, as I say on YouTube, we like honesty and transparency, so I'll take you through some practical reasons, but one real psychological reason. So come this following Sunday, we're just 5 weeks out from the marathon. I have done 10 weeks of marathon training, and on the whole, that has gone very well, following the Ben Parks plan that Dawn got me for my birthday. The long runs have been purposeful, and the sessions have all been hit as per requirement, and we've filmed many of them on this channel already. And the plan has been good. I am in the best shape I've been in over 5 years, as evidenced by my fastest 5k time since 2019 at the Podium 5k the other week. So why not take that increased fitness into the marathon, John? I might hear you ask if I sat next to you. Well, the first reason is I won't be running a time that I personally would find satisfying. So Coros currently has me down to run a 3:09 marathon. That's what its prediction is. It's not far out on other distances, but I know that is perfect case scenario, with everything going right, perfect day, perfect conditions, me feeling on my A game, and I just don't think that's going to happen. In fact, numbers I've taken from other training sessions, look at my heart rate, the double threshold I did the other week, I know my marathon potential on a good day is more like 3:15 to 3:20. Now I know that objectively that's a pretty good time for a man of my age, 54, but currently the prospect of achieving that doesn't make me want to devote 2 weeks of taper and 3 weeks of recovery to achieving it, as opposed to other things that I could be doing. And that leads me nicely into the second reason I won't be running the marathon this autumn, and that is I'd rather be doing other things. So when I look back over the last year of running, and those of you who followed us for a while might recall this, I've had 4 absolute marathon shockers. Yorkshire last year, DNF, Marriott's Way, well, we know what happened there, but if not, I'll put up a reminder. It's unwalkable, never mind unrunnable. Manchester in April, DNF, and then finally Halstead Marathon in May. We did finish and got a free ride to Colchester General Hospital because I collapsed at the end of that race. I then look at the 4 best racing experiences I've had in the past 12 months. Some are fast times, some not so, but they are the Telford 10k last December, the Barnsley 10k in June, the Dereham 5k in August, and more recently the Podium 5k a week after Dereham. So what's that pattern there? My worst running experiences in the last year and my favourite running experiences in the last year. And what does that tell me? Autumn is a time of some really super 10k races. We've entered Telford again, and I've got my eye on a few others in the north and northwest of England. 10k has always been my favourite race distance, and looking back at when I was good, when I was running at my best about 20 years ago, I wish I spent more time focusing specifically on 10k and not trying to achieve a marathon time always just out of my reach. I think sometimes as runners we have a tendency to do what we think we ought to be doing because everybody else is. You know, many other people, many of the YouTube channels are gearing up for big autumn and winter marathon goals, so surely we should be doing the same. No, not for me this autumn. I'm going to do what floats my boat. So watch out for Project 39 upcoming. You can guess what that is. But before that 10k specific block kicks off, I am going to bank some of that 10 weeks of very good marathon training I've done, because this coming Sunday, Dawn and I are racing the Lake Vyrnwy half marathon. I think it's just over the border in Wales, very close to Walsall Street, so sort of on the Welsh-Shropshire border. A race we did about 13 years ago 75 minutes around that day, but hoping to run a comeback PB, which will be in the 1:32s or faster, and then we'll move into the next phase of my running year. So the third reason I won't be doing Aberdeen Marathon in 5 weeks' time is the terrible experience I had at the South Cheshire 20 about 12 days ago. So we're in the area. Dawn had run the Mid Cheshire 5k. We decided to stay on and do the South Cheshire Harriers 20 on the Sunday. Lovely event, really well organised. Thumbs up to South Cheshire Harriers. However, I got the worst blister ever. I do have pictures of this, but as some of you may be eating your tea or lunch, I won't put them up on screen. But it was absolutely horrendous. It started at about mile 3, and this was on a 1-lap course. I didn't want to drop out yet again running with Dawn and spoil her race, so I soldiered on. It got bigger and bigger. At 17 miles, it burst. So on the last 3 miles, with a red raw burst blistered toe. Ouch. So that meant last week's training was a bit truncated. It got me 50 miles in, but the long run was only 14 miles, and I missed a key long run workout. Now as a coach, if somebody said to me, I've done 10 really good weeks of training and I've one slightly iffy week, should I do my goal race? I'd say absolutely. You won't have lost anything there. Your body might have had a chance to absorb some of the fitness because you're not running as much. But given that recent marathon history, it's just put me in a really negative frame of mind about suffering and things going wrong out on a very long race with no direction home, like a complete unknown, like a rolling stone. So psychologically, it's a case of, after the horrors of Yorkshire, Manchester, Marriotts Way and Halstead, and now South Cheshire, it seems every time I put on a number to do a long run or race, disaster. When every time I just go for a training run with a purpose, it's gone well. But I'm just not prepared to take that risk. I could give you reason 3 part B, or is it reason 4? The financial investment. The whole thing would have been north of £350, all for something where the confidence has gone, the desire to do it is gone. I'd rather be doing other things, and that's a lot of money to put aside for something that I'm not 100% committed to or confident in. So there you go, folks. I may come across as a very self-confident runner, and I think I am in many respects, but we all have our doubts. We all have our little running demons, and that South Cheshire 20 experience brought back the marathon demons, and I'm just not ready to go there again. Not when there's all those lovely 10Ks to do instead. So given that, will I ever run a marathon again? Well, we've both entered Brighton, April 2025. I'll do another training block probably, and I'll see how my mind and body feels in the weeks leading up to that. If there is one marathon around that really lights my fire, it's something called the Flanders Field Marathon. I did it back in 2013. It was in fact my first total marathon disaster. 1:29 at halfway, something like 3:45 at the end. But that marathon has a higher purpose, something that really gets to me, and that it's a memorial marathon for those who were killed in the First World War. It finishes coming to the big Men in Gate and Ypres memorial to 55,000 men who were not only lost in the war, but whose bodies were never recovered. And the thought of doing that, even if it goes wrong, I can see some sort of psychological and moral purpose to. That is happening at this time next year. So Brighton's a possibility, Flanders Field's a possibility. So there we go, folks. That's the video I envisaged bringing you when we set out on this marathon journey back in July. Not the video I thought I would bring you when we're ticking off all those long runs and good sessions, but it's been something that's been playing on my mind for a couple of weeks. The events at South Cheshire sort of confirmed what I was thinking, so rather than risk it for the biscuit, I'm going to bin it for the minute. But despite its news, I hope you've still got something out of this video about some of the psychology and practical things that go through my mind as a competitive runner. If you have, please give it a like, and if you'd like to see how I do get on the 10k training and how Dawn gets on in the Chester Marathon running for England, then please subscribe to the channel. So until next time,
keep on keeping on.
Keep on keeping on.